Hello, Patreon backers, whoever has access to this in the future. About a month ago, hcvertigo and I were having a conversation in Discord, and it became a little bit more of like an interview and a tour of the studio. So again, this is a month ago. A couple of things have changed since then, and I don't even know why I hadn't published this. I think he was talking about publishing it onto his YouTube channel. I don't think that ever materialized. So rather than just wasting all of that, here it is.
So we'll take a quick break here from streaming to take a look at Noobifier's.
I really appreciate it. I don't want to wreck your whole stream, right?
Well, what are we doing in Star Citizen these days?
Nothing. Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Right? So if you come visit and the offer stands, this is a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You can...
He's offering to house me, everybody.
Yeah. Here. It's not made, right? But I'll show you. It's big enough. See? There's a bed and some extra monitor stuff.
Some extra monitors. It's actually you can monitor your guests.
Never know when. No, like 27. The wing monitor. So the plan. Well, let me do this. I'll spin the camera around and we'll narrate this way because it's not only a better camera. It's probably better than looking at my mug, right? Okay. So I'm in the middle of building the 3D printer.
I'll
situate.
I see you got the lights for taking pictures,
stairs, right? I'll show you upstairs. You guys, no one's ever seen upstairs. I'll show you upstairs. So upstairs is all windows.
Yep.
Which is good.
Wow,
makes you happy, right? So yeah. Okay. So you come downstairs, and this is the whole basement is mine for the company, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come in, left is there's a location for doing interviews. The plan is to get Red Lear down here and maybe TV Liquid and just have podcast.
That sounds
and
great.
Then
yeah.
There's camera gear in this drawer. There's audio gear in this one, and then gaming gear, things like game controllers and stuff like that. And then there's all the car shit, the turbos and everything to do with MP5T. There's the first joystick and mount that I got from.
I can recognize some of those car parts. I see I think it's an impaler for a turbo.
This is a turbo,
compressor.
the turbine.
Yeah.
It's a GT28 RS.
I see some
cooled ball bearing.
That gears looks like it's seen a few better days.
No, they're straight cut.
Okay.
These are fucking expensive. This was a $7,000 transmission for the car. First gear would do 80 kilometers an hour, so just shy of 55 in first gear. It was all elongated. I couldn't use fifth gear until I was doing 190 kilometers an hour.
Jeez.
So it's good. But yeah, so synchronizers, straight cut gears. This was the first motor, right?
I can see that thing's broken.
And this little chunk of metal was the first block. A little piece of it ended up ejecting. And then, of course, we got it in sand from Kuwait because that was the last tour. So that's important. This is a rod bolt off of that same engine. I just got into encasing shit. So let's move on. I got to tell you, this I got for Christmas. It's my fucking favorite. My wife.
You goddamn cats.
So good. Right? It's like half Wharf, half Janeway, I guess.
Yeah.
But and then you've got Wii U and Astropub and some more stuff. This guy here I want to review shortly because it's one of these guys.
Oh, okay.
It is such a learning curve. It is such a ball buster. And I haven't been, I've had it for a while. I've been using it. As you can see, I'm using it right now. It's sitting on a shelf, right? So it's so difficult to not necessarily find time to use it, but get good with it. There's no problem. It's going to be, it's a great product, a good price. It's such a, I can't tell you we should go buy it because
it takes a lot of dedication to get used to, looks like.
And then you're screwed because if you go over to a friend's house and you want to play a game, you have to bring it with you, right? You've already unlearned all your stuff. So this is like wall of joystick. First Deltas, first MT50, and then the chopper, and there's some other chopper stuff.
Let me ask you, those joysticks on that shelf, how much money do you think sitting on that shelf?
I mean, these are alphas. They're probably $300 each. There's 4 of them. These 2 don't have serial numbers because they were prototypes. Those are the ones that were in the video.
So they're like
and
priceless.
Then I got Well, I mean, these, no, fuck no. Dude, these are priceless.
Yeah. The 0001 serial number.
Yeah. So that's 001. And just in case there was a second flex.
He's got number 2, everybody.
Right. So that's good. And then the gimbals are the same. This is Twister. He's a good friend. He passed away because of COVID. I'm sure you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, more of this stuff. Anyways, this is 3D printer room. Okay, so this is the room for the 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got all the stuff all ready to go.
Yeah, the wire,
and then
the resin.
spares for Monster Tech. You can see all the bolts and shit that I need for Monster Tech. This is again audio gear, and this is photo gear, and then this is the computer that runs the studio. This is where I do standing gaming and some content creation. I do all my content creation on this. And then I'll show you quickly this OCD.
I love the bins.
This is all the spares. This is all the spares for building stuff, right? And if I need to move camera gear to go on a shoot somewhere, I've got them in hard cases.
I like how he's labeled everything too.
Yeah, it has to be labeled, right? Like you can't be a bumpkin about it. And they're all color coded because psychologically, I know that orange and purple is HDMI wires, right? Orange and purple. You can your brain gets used to it. Anyways, and then all the spare stuff for the sim is all up along here. And then there's spare Monster Tech profile because you can cut. And I'll show you. When I say you can cut, I built a little studio or a little workshop so you can actually.
He's got a workshop. I've never seen this part of the house before.
Yeah, no one has. Like there's
world premiere, everybody. Noobifier's workshop.
That's why I don't show this place. It's naughty. Right? It's got naughty.
It's got bad words. We don't use these on stream.
Yeah, we don't talk about those. So when I need to do some custom profile for testing Monster Tech stuff, I just come in here. It's all squared away for that. And then of course spares. And then that computer that you saw is this door in this room, which you guys have seen before. Yeah. So this is a 55. And it's all standing, and it's just like I said in the video, the monitor's on the ceiling, and this stuff is all attached to the wall.
For those of you who haven't figured it out, that computer in the other room that we showed is hooked up with long cables to this monitor and these controllers in here.
Yeah, so that you don't have to worry about the sound or the heat from the computer. Because, I mean, I'm going to close the door. You might actually, I don't even know if it'll work on AirPods, but I'll close the door. There's one door. And I'll go stand in the middle of the room. You tell me if you can hear a difference. Are you able to hear a difference in the room?
As soon as you close the door, it was definitely sounded a lot more crisper.
Good. Well, that means that the $10,000 spent on the room was worth it. Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's all diminishing return. It's stupid, right? Who the fuck needs this stuff? I don't. But
you do because it was funny. You're insane, Noobifier.
There's a 27 down here, so when you're standing, you can still see that. So that's like Discord and all the telemetry.
Yeah, that's just not. That's another monitor, guys. That's not like a piece of metal for you like to rest stuff onto. That's another little monitor under that big monitor.
Yeah, and it's suspended so when this moves, like because this does move, there's flex to it, but it doesn't move the monitor, so you don't get sick, right? All this stuff can move, and then wireless. We don't screw around with wires down here, and then there's the cup holder, necessary. And then when you need to talk, this just kind of swings around. And this is exactly where I do all the Star Citizen videos from. Just stand up here. And that being a 55 is nice because you can four-corner in Windows 11, right? So that basically becomes 4 27-inch screens worth of real estate to do your stuff. And there's only 2 speakers. You only need left and right, but they're Atom Audio monitors. And I'm going to be a little bit... I'll be brief. I will leave. Anyways, there's a pair of doors because there's a pair of walls, pair of ceilings, and all that other stuff, right? So then, good. Second door. And we can go talk with knives. And I'm currently, like I said, building that. It's on Lazy Susan too, because that's just too easy, right? When you need to get around different stuff. This table's a shit show right now, but this is where I do all of my scripting for Inside Star Citizen Live. So I'll watch Jared and Jay Lee or whomever on that while recording on that computer, but I'll sit here and work on the script. And then as soon as they're done, about 4 or 5 minutes away from them being complete, I'll go to the room because it's a Google Doc. I'll just read the audio. I've already captured the video clips that I need from watching it. And then that's why it comes out so quickly, because I know that Jared sometimes says something in the last 4 minutes, but mostly what he says is junk at the end. So I just
Yeah.
capitalize
So
on
he
that time.
tries to say something funny, but it's just like, you can, whatever. It's standard.
Or they'll do like a sneak peek, right?
Yeah.
And then if it's a really important sneak peek, I'll just make a second video about it, because you'll see the comments like, "Oh, before you forgot the last 2 minutes." I'm like, I know I forgot the last 2 minutes. I was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this carpet here is meant to be for VR play space.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole room is done because there's a base station there. And then, sorry, I'll move slower because I don't want to make you fucking sick. There's a base station there.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one.
So you got
here.
the two sim rigs, and then that carpet is for room scale VR, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but the whole space can do room scale. I have it gated here, but you can still walk into there. So because that's on wheels and that's on wheels, if you wanted to play Half-Life Alyx, you could use what is this, 10 meters by 10 meters. You can use the whole space because it's three-cornered, right? So you can go to the length of the wire, and that's attached to that green PC. And then if you grab the headset, you can see how far you can actually go. Like I'm not even done yet, but this whole space here can be used to about.
I was going to compliment you. I'm like, hey, put carpet down so you know when you're out of bounds in the VR. You're about to walk into a wall. If you step off the carpet, you can feel the difference in the floor. So like, I should probably get back on the carpet.
But that's what it is for. And the carpet is gated, right? You can walk out of the gate, but for something like Beat Saber, dead center in the carpet is your center space. And there's enough distance that even if your hand's out, it doesn't trigger the gate. But if you get too close, it will, right? So we'll talk about this. There's the new PC. Is that one there? That's 5900X and a 6900 XT. So that's an all red build. And I did that because of Eyefinity. These three TVs, 55-inch, are 120 hertz, and NVIDIA was shitting the bed all the time. I would go to create an array, and it would just crash. So I'm like, I'm tired. One of my friends said, why don't you just try an NVIDIA card or an AMD card, a Radeon? And I'm like, fuck, aren't you smart? Right? So it's not a driver issue. It's a company issue. It doesn't matter what NVIDIA card you grab. Apparently, it's just not optimized for triple screen, but AMD has bothered. So we'll talk about rigs shortly. So that the reason there's two computers, that there are two computers. The green one here is my this is a 5900X and 3080 Ti for this 77 and flight, and then the red one will do the triple screens. But at any time, you can do VR because you don't have to use the triple screens. You can sit in the car and play VR if you want because it's all gated. And it's the same thing with Star Citizen. If I wanted to play Star Citizen, I could play it here, double stick, and the sticks just kick in, and then I'm here. And then the streaming PC is on wheels. This guy here is a
little stream PC,
5800X, 3050 RTX, and then a pair of capture cards. So whenever you want to stream car, you wheel this fucker over to car and you plug it in, and then all the wires are in a box called stream, and then you've got like webcam, right? This just goes on a tripod and plugs into the card, and everything's already built on that stream PC. So all you need to do is connect it to this guy here, which is my Nexus, right? The AverMedia. It's like a Go XLR, but that's magnetic. So you just move it there when you want to stream on this side. And it just kind of comes off. So all that is quite bespoke and ready to go. But I'll tell you something. Oh, one sec. I want to show you one more thing. So the rig's already cameraed up. Right? There's one there. There's one there. And there's one down here. So when you want to start streaming, you basically plug in the USB to that, and it sees the three cameras, and you have scenes for this rig. And then it's the same thing over there. There's three cameras on that rig. And the computer knows the difference between the two, and it'll automatically change the profile depending on what you want to stream. Now, I'll back up here. So this week, Monster Tech is sending 3 mounts for these so that it's like this. It's up and off. They're all on wheels. So if I needed a second screen for this stream, I could wheel this monitor here and use it. And then when I'm not using it for this, I can just wheel it back and use it into the array. The rig with the gray chair, the car rig, is being replaced with a 6 degree of freedom sim rig.
Right.
That's the 950-pound thing that's coming from Poland.
You're going to have some force feedback in that, so you can actually feel
a little
the car
bit.
go.
A little bit. Well, that's why I needed to install more power. I think I showed you that tweet, right?
I don't think I've seen
it.
Mm-hmm.
So this circuit is new. This circuit is different. And then there's another circuit. So there's a total of 3 circuits.
Well, yeah, you got a lot of power coming down here.
Well, I need it because the sim rig alone is going to take 14 amps from the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like I needed to get a 3,500 watt UPS for it. And then, so you can see there's a green and a blue. These are 2 different circuits. One's for the computer, one's for the sim rig. And then that computer, the red computer and the green computer can't be on the same circuit because they each pull 7 amps. Mm-hmm. So that's why there's...
I'm not quite sure what Canadians use for like their... Down here in America is like 15 amps is like a single room or a single level
15
of your house.
amps, yeah. So the green one is 20 amps because the sim rig pulls 15.
Yeah.
Kind of sketch. And then the other sim rig, so yeah, there's going to be 2 of them. So the 6 degree of freedom one is going to be replacing the car. After this week, Monster Tech is sending 4 piston to go on this sim rig. So that'll work with 4 pistons. You can get the virtual reality, driving, whatever. But when the other one arrives, the 4 piston is going to end up being the flight one for DCS. So when you're flying your choppers and shit, it'll still move. Star Citizen is not going to, probably, well, it's not likely going to have support for that because we can't even get fuel. Never mind all the other stuff. Right? Let's be
one of
real.
these days, maybe.
I'll be dead before this moves for Star Citizen. Anyways, and again, triple screen in Star Citizen works, but the reason decided to go with 77 is, single monitor, not 3, is less pixels because you can draw 4K one screen. This turns out to be 12,000 something pixels by 2100. This is a real bitch to drive, right? Like that's a lot of pixel. And in the car game, if you're on high, it's still able to pull 70 frames per second, which I consider to be playable. If I didn't think that, I would probably drop down a level or get a second 6900 XT, but then you'd need something ridiculous like a 16 or 17, 1800 watt power supply, which doesn't really, that's not needed, right? That's stupid.
Yeah.
So, all of it's stupid. And then I'll show you the gym, right? You saw the gym.
Yeah, the treadmill.
So I actually rent the basement to the company so I can depreciate revenue, so I don't have to pay taxes on it. So the 800 square feet of this is rented to the company, and pretty much everything that's bought for this is bought for the company so that I won't have to claim it on my own. Yeah. So that's that. I can spin this guy around, and again, I don't know. That was pretty much... pretty much the most complete tour, and I think I've ever given someone that's not physically here. Darklaw wants to come here. He's like, "Oh fuck, I'll get on a plane." I'm like, "Brother, grow a pair, do it. Don't stop talking about it. Just get it done." So that's the thing. And again, dude, I know you play the videos all the time. I'm super appreciative. I hope it's double Dutch. I know that Richard does the same thing. Like he'll watch, instead of watching the 1 hour long, he'll watch my video, and that's the whole point. That's why I bother to do them. I super love the content creation aspect of Star Citizen is almost more important than Star Citizen right now because I have lots of time to play, but I dislike investing 3 hours play testing to achieve something for a video. It's not like if streaming is streaming. If you spend 45 years to get from point A to point B, the whole thing's a stream. But if I spend 10 hours trying to get a special spaceship somewhere to evaluate something, and then I get blown up or 30K'd, I've literally spent 10 hours of my life for fuck all, right? Yeah. Because I haven't achieved what I wanted. So it's different as a YouTube content creator. I can get in there and stream Star Citizen, no problem. But then I'm also not making YouTube. So it's kind of it's weird. I've pigeonholed myself into YouTube, and I love it. But at the same time, there's a certain cost of doing that.
Yeah.
So
I found that too when I'm starting to do YouTube videos. It's like I can record a whole bunch of footage, and then server crashes for a video, and then I just have to go back in and just like, figure a way to get it or something. Or if I don't have the ship I want to do a video on, it's like, and the ship's not available, I have to spend my own money to get it then. Or I have to find someone in the community that has one to loan me.
That's what I used to like it when they did that with PTU. When the PTU was new, like we're talking, 2-3 years ago. If there was a new ship in PTU, they just gave it to you so you could test it. And I always thought that was super nice because everyone gets a chance to use it. And I personally think that people are more likely to buy it if they got the chance to use it and appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I know why they don't do it, because they want you to go buy it. Yeah. But I think that's ass backwards. But who the fuck am I to tell people that they're doing it wrong? Because they're the billionaires and I'm not.
Yeah.
So obviously whatever they're doing is working fine, right? Everyone knows that CIG is king. So but yeah, I'm excited to get like Disco back and making content. And I know they always take a break around each patch for a month, I guess. That's nuts. And Christmas was understandable. What I don't understand is, like I said, why we can't get Tony Z a microphone. I know Tony Z is super busy, right? We haven't seen Tony Z in forever. Give Chris a microphone. Put something in his face, like microphone. Here,
yeah.
Chris,
Sean Tracy, Brian Chambers, Chris Roberts, Aaron
Roberts.
Anyway,
the fucking cleaning lady. I don't give a shit who, right? Something, anything. I don't even care if it's Disco singing songs with Jay Lee. That was actually really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of perverse. I guess Board Gamer was talking about Sandy Gardner coming back and making videos. I'm all for that. You know, the more the better. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as too much content. There is too much bullshit.
Frivolous content. Too much frivolous.
Theory crafting, right? Like people talking about shit that they want to add to the game in 4 years. Who gives a shit, right? We did that in 2013, 14, 15 because there was no game. But now that we actually have a game, let's talk about the stuff that's coming around in the next 6 months, right? Even a year, I don't mind. Stuff like the BMM videos are great because it's clearly coming soon. They're talking about the Polaris and what they want to do with that. Who gives a fuck? You know, put it on the roadmap and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So
the Polaris for some reason has a big fan base. I don't understand it, but people love that ship.
Dude, that ship is basically a character killer.
Yeah. Oh god damn it! Don't you say that to me.
It's a big retaliator. It's got size 10 torps and like it's good for cap ship. Like, so here's the thing. I've spoken to a lot of people, and this is what I figured out is that people want to be left alone, right? If you can't get a PvP slider, the next best thing is to get a ship that's so big that people can shoot at you for a month and you don't have to worry about your shields even dropping. So it's an easy button in a way. So when people say that there's no pay to win, that's horseshit because I have a Polaris, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I still need all the crew to do the Polaris. And I've spoken to other people who are like, well, we'll buy a Polaris and all the ships that'll go with it. And then it's an instant org. And when the game goes live, all the people that are rushing in that don't have ships are going to want to be part of my org and be crew. But I keep telling these people, I have a ship and the last thing I want to do is sit on yours. I bought my own ship to do all that shit. So it's like reversed. It's ass backwards. It's nice. Like people are justifying their big fleets saying that, it's for the greater good, but buy the ship because you want it, not because you think that other people will want it. You don't have to justify it. Or if you do have to justify it, maybe you should liquidate some of it, right?
And that's a very real concern in MMOs. Not everybody wants to be part of your guild, especially if you're not a very good person to be around. Well, not you entirely, just talking in general. You can just have really asshole peoples.
Right. But, I mean, so the org that I'm in, it has 20 javelins, and we have 200 people.
I told people,
this is mental. What are we going to do? One a week? Like, take one out a week? 200 isn't even enough people to support one, right? So then you got people like, I got one guy who bought 3. And his idea is because it doesn't come with guns, he's going to sell 2 of them the day that the game goes live. He's going to sell 2 at Cubby Blast, get a shit ton of money, and then just go buy the guns. I'm like, well, now it really is pay to win. Like, if you do that, that just circumvented the whole...
That's even assuming CIG allows us to sell pledges for credits.
All of this is, it's like NFTs before it existed. Like, CIG invented NFTs, right? You're buying your place in history. Yeah. You get to have the special spaceship. And again, I'm still not convinced that the servers will be able to support capital ship gameplay. So why would I buy one now? Right? It just, again, everyone's entitled to dream about Star Citizen they want to, and I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their life. Right? They can choose to watch the videos or not. But I'm confused at when I see other people do stuff like that. And this is basically turned into a little podcast. That's cool.
Yeah, just podcast between you, me, and Noobifier without the Astropub. It's like we're cheating on him.
What is it, Sunday? Oh my God. Poor Paul. Poor Paul. We should invite him.
All this great content. I'm thinking like a lot of people are going to have to get NPCs to fill out most of their ships.
100%. And that assumes that that's something that CIG can deliver. Right? I mean, it makes sense. If they can make Quanta work, then they can make NPCs work, because you're basically just applying a normal NPC, but there's one category on their table that says that they belong to you and they're working for you.
I think they can do it. I can already see the foundation in game right now. You have only an engineer can use these parts of the ship. Like, you just have you have a shield generator, and the shield generator will have an invisible use box in front of it, and only engineers are allowed to go into that use box.
It's going to take a fucking year just to micro all the settings for all of the NPCs, never mind actually play the game. Yeah. It's going to take a year for you to get your stuff to a place. It's going to take a year to get your ship to a place. And it's going to be a year to set up your NPCs. And then when you finally go out, $30K.
I don't think it's good. Well, crashes, or someone just rams you and they blow your ship up or something.
Can you imagine?
Or one of your 200 org members turns out to be like a traitor or something. He ends up killing all your NPCs.
I know. Just knifing them. He doesn't want to waste bullets. He just goes around yanking them with a knife, like shanking.
Because that happens in other MMOs, people. You get backstabbed all the time. EVE Online was popular and known for it, but other MMOs.
Game mechanic. It's its own type of gameplay. Yes, the cheeky bastard. And the funny thing is, we are supposed to be lawful in real life because there's real consequences. But even in a video game, what's the worst thing you're going to do? You're going to go have to buy another spaceship, $45 game package because CIG banned you. Oh no, right? You're going to have to go get a VPN because they IP banned you. No, I know people that would spend $100 on a game package on Friday just to see how far they could get all weekend before they got banned. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying that they're all over the place or that they're super common, but there are some people that just don't care about law and consequence. Case in point, every single time I stop playing Star Citizen, I just do a character reset so that I know everything is good, right? Because there's no reason to grind credit for me anyways. If you stream and all the time and you can do stuff with that money, fine. But I don't have time, and then I know it's going to get wiped again. So yeah, and it's a little weird, the whole idea of Star Citizen. Most of us started out thinking it was going to be out in 2016, 2017 at the latest, and be playing the game, not talking about development. And it doesn't make any sense to stop now because you've got yourself a momentum and an audience, so keep it going. Anyways, it's just weird. Not frustrating, confusing. But that's why this stuff is here, right? Whole
you got the racing sim going on. Sim rigs are looking to expand out to DCS World and F1 racing. I've seen a couple of your streams.
So I play that. I play DCS not on stream because it's mostly VR and it's very difficult to manage. If I'm not managing chat, there's no reason for me to be live, is the point. And even F1 is difficult because when you're racing, if you're doing practice laps, the lap is like 2 or 3 minutes. There's like 3 or 4 minutes that the chat is just not being engaged with, right? And who wants to watch me go around in circles? Really, it's not. It's not exciting.
You got people in the community who would love to be with you for 2 minutes, just watch you go in circles. There are people who would love to play with you while racing.
You know what's good though is that I'll send you a video of the sim rig, the 6 DOF one working. When it's working, it itself is mesmerizing. Whether you're watching the content, you can sit there and just watch the screen and watch what the sim rig does, like how the sim rig translates what's being shown. Like if you're doing Colin McRae rally or something and the car flies through the air, it picks up and it pulls you down slowly to give you the sensation of zero G or less gravity. It's actually it's really neat. But that sucker is not coming for another 8 weeks. The Monster Tech one with the 4 legs should be here hopefully next time, or this time next week. Just in time for Star Citizen. I'm just kidding.
Just in time for 317, yeah.
Right. But so it's going to be on the car rig temporarily, and then as we get, I'll do one video on that, and it makes sense to do one on all different types because the physics for car is super important. I can make a 15-minute video just about that, right? And then speak about how it behaves in Microsoft Flight Sim when you're flying a Cessna. I would never try to put it on an F-14 or F-18 that's going to go inverted because it's stupid. The thing just comes to this and then what?
Yeah, you hit the mechanical stops and nothing more.
Right. In a Cessna, though, I would love, or a 767, like some kind of big airliner where you kind of feel it. I could see that adding value to it for sure. Definitely in car. If your car is sliding and shit, but that's where the 6-DOF gets in, because the 6-DOF is on 6 pistons and it's actually able to rotate. That's when it can give you slew and skid, right? So you're in an F1 car and it breaks traction, it'll let you know immediately if it's dialed in or rally. Anyways, again, I don't mean to destroy your whole stream today. That wasn't.
No, man, you're adding such great value. Like, what are we doing in Star Citizen?
Okay. I don't know. I'm not. So the joke is, everyone's like, "Oh, Noobifier, I never see you online." Me watching you deal with Star Citizen every single day keeps me up to date. So you guys do me a great service too. I get to make the content without necessarily needing to go through the ass pain, because I watch Richard go through the ass pain. I watch you go through the ass pain. And, Moist Noodle or whomever happened to be watching at that time, it literally gives me the state of the game by watching. And it's super cool. It's super cool. Even like, Carbon, it's all of them. Everyone's super good.
Yeah. And I do that with other content creators too. Like I go to Spectrum Discord and I start talking to other people who experience other gameplay loops. Like I haven't been doing mining a lot, but I'm still watching a few people who do mining just to kind of get a feel of what's going on there. And I'm loving people attaching those new in 3.7. They got those new mining gadgets, and I'm watching them break down rocks they shouldn't be able to using those new mining gadgets. I'm like, that is so cool looking. Just and again, taking the time. Good.
It's fucking fantastic gameplay. And if they do the same thing for salvage, let's say your salvage cutting laser isn't capable, cannot cut the titanium hull or whatever, and then you get a stronger beam, or you can surge the beam for a couple seconds just to do that one cut. All of that is skillful gameplay. Everyone is joking about how it's magic beams everywhere. But the reality is, mining is complicated. Anybody can mine, but not everyone can mine well or efficiently, right? And pairing up and getting a couple people in a mole or whatever. This is all shit that I wish we added in 2016, right? Because now I'm 47. Anyways, refueling is cool because you get to fuck with all the valves and everything. Yeah. The problem is suspension of disbelief. We don't even have that now. I don't need to the fuel trucks now are all automated.
Oh yeah,
right. The one that fills up the gas station is automated. That thing is more high tech than a Tesla. And I was just I'm getting this game mechanic where you got to go flip the valve to make sure that it doesn't overfill the Gladius or something.
I watch YouTube channels on industrial disasters, and they have problems with people flipping the wrong valves at the wrong time and putting the wrong fuel into the wrong place, and suddenly have a chemical reaction and boom.
Yeah, even what was it, 3 Mile Island, that nuclear reactor that blew up in the States? The dude didn't believe the computer. The computer was doing the right thing, and the guy's like, "No, override." And I'm just be smarter than the computer that was paid someone designed this thing, spent $1 million on a computer brain to run a reactor, and the $4 engineer is like, "No, I'm smarter." Anyways, so I guess the point is we have driving cars right now. In the future, there's no reason to have anything not automated. but it's for gameplay, right? Obviously, if it was easy button Citizen,
give the player base some busy work, right? Give us something to do. Got
like,
the dials and knobs we got to throw around, make us feel like we're doing stuff.
Gotta get the coffee back, right? Coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
Have you ever seen you like this kind of stupid shit? Have you ever seen this TV show?
Yes, I know who that is. I'm trying to remember what web series made that. Assy McGee.
It's so fucking good. This shirt, my friend Sneaky Pete, they're coming over tonight to do some laps in this thing and get this taco night, right? But he bought me this shirt a long time ago because we used to watch stupid TV shows, and this is like before Netflix, right? We just like downloaded and watched this obscure shit. And we loved that series. It was just so weird. And it's like, like even like Family Guy, you've got a talking dog and then you got normal dogs that don't talk. And no one seems to give a shit, right? It's just no problem. No one gave a shit that there was an ass with a magnum on a police force.
Yeah. It's just like perfectly normal. Kind of like, some of my best things from like Leslie Nielsen. He did like the Police Squad movies. And those movies were some of the goofiest stuff, but I think Leslie Nielsen did a great job because he sold it. He was just like, all the goofy stuff happening around him, it was just perfectly normal. Yeah. He was just walking through a war zone. It was just normal. It's another day for him.
But he also got commendations and all kinds of stuff because he actually accidentally saved the day.
Yeah. Right?
And O.J. Simpson is in it? Come on. There's some quality there.
I know.
There's some history there.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take off because it's already 2 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've, again, I know that you say it's good, but I still feel like I'm railroading your stream a bit. But it's been really good talking. I'm going to go back to
I got you a subscriber, man. Someone in my stream chat subscribed to your channel.
Right?
There you go. But anyways, thanks to Noobifier for stopping by. Appreciate it. Thanks for the showing off all the cool stuff. I do want you to
come visit. Like, if you can get out of your house and come visit, it's open. Obviously, the whole point of having the whole thing set up downstairs is for fun.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me. Like, back to lurk mode, okay?
All right. There we go. So there you go, everybody. That's the Noobifier.